Dear student, welcome once again to the class. So on my last class I have discussed up to question number 15 of exercise 15.1. Today I will start from question number 16, and after completing this exercise I will discuss those examples that are left on my last class. Okay, so first of all let me complete the exercise, then I will discuss the remaining portion. So question number 16, you see, total defective pens are accidentally mixed with 132 good ones. So there were 132 good pens and accidentally 12 defective pens were mixed. So it is possible to just look at the pen. So it is not possible to just look at a pen and tell whether or not it is defective. So the condition is like that the pen which are defective, they are similar like those good ones. It is just simply by looking it is very difficult to say which one is defected and which one is a good pen. So one pen is taken out at random from this lot. Determine the probability that the pen taken out is a good one. So question is like this, that randomly a pen is picked from that lot. So question is to find the probability that the pen taken out is a good one. Pen taken out is a good one. So like earlier how I have done, first of all I will find the total number of pens. So question number 16, total number of pen is equals to, total number of pen will be equals to number of defective pens plus number of good pens. Number of defective pens plus number of good pens. Number of defective pens plus number of good pen. So how many defective pens are there? You see 12 defective and 132 goods. 12 plus 132, which is equals to 444. 144 pens. So this is the total number of pens. That means it is our total possible outcome. Total possible outcome. So question is to find the probability of getting a good pen. So how many good pens are there? You see, total number of good pens. Total number of good pens, how many? 132. 132. So this is our favorable outcome and this one is the total possible outcome. So we know how to find the probability. Simply divide the favorable outcome, divide the favorable outcome by this total possible outcome. This is our total possible outcome, 144 pens. This is the total number of pens which is our total possible outcome, and this one is the favorable one. Question is to find for the good pens, the probability of the good pens. So this is our favorable outcome. The same question was, if it was like this, that to find the probability that the pen picked was a defective one, then we could have taken this one. But now the question is to find the probability for this good pens, the pen that will pick, it should be a good one. So therefore probability of getting a good pen, probability of getting a good pen will be, this is our favorable outcome, 132 divided by 144. 132 divided by 144. 12 11s are 12 12s are. So answer is 11 by 12. So the required probability is 11 by 12. So this is our required answer. Okay, now see question number 17. Roman number 1. A lot of 20 bulbs containing 4 defective ones. One bulb is drawn out at a random from the lot. So what is the probability that this bulb is defective? So question is to find the probability that the chosen bulb is the probability of the chosen bulb is a defective. So like in the same way, first of all we will find the total number of bulbs. It is given here 20. So total number of bulbs it is given. Total number of bulbs it is 20, and out of these 20 bulbs 4 bulbs are defective. A lot of 20 bulbs containing 4 defective bulbs, no need to plus 4. Question is like this, that out of these 20 bulbs 4 are defective, that means 16 are good. So question is to find the probability. What is the probability that the bulb is defective? So total number of defective bulbs is equals to 4. Total number of defective bulbs is equals to 4. So question is to find the probability. This is our favorable outcome. This is the total possible outcome. So therefore probability of getting a defective bulb equals to favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. Favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. This is the favorable outcome. This one it is the total possible outcome. So if I cancel with 4, 4 1s are 4, 4 5s are 20. So 1 and here 5. So now you see, okay, 17 Roman number 1 it is. So now Roman number 2 you see, suppose the bulb drawn in Roman number 1 is not the defective and is not replaced. Now one bulb is drawn at a random from the rest. What is the probability that the bulb is not the defective? So one bulb in question number, this Roman number 1, there were 20 bulbs. So out of which one bulb is chosen and it was found that it is not defective. So I have removed this one. So leaving this one bulb, how many bulbs left? 90. There were 20 bulbs. One bulb I have choose. I found that it is not defective. I simply removed this one from this set. Then I found how many bulbs left? One bulb I have kept aside. So how many bulbs left? 19. So out of this 19 we will find the probability now. Here the total possible outcome will now become 19. So again I am saying, you see the question is written like this, that suppose the bulb drawn is not defective and is not replaced. So if I choose a bulb and if I found it is not defective and it is not replaced, so I have kept it aside. Then how many bulbs left? Out of this 20, 19 bulbs left. So I will find the total possible outcome in this case will be 19, and I will find it for this, there are 4 bulbs, so it will be 4 by 19. But question is to find, what is the probability that the bulb is not defective? Okay, question is to find for non-defective bulbs. So simply from this 19 I will subtract 4 defective bulbs. The remaining bulbs are non-defective. They are the good ones. So you write, since one non-defective bulb is, since one non-defective bulb is drawn, then the total number of bulbs left equals to 19. Since one non-defective bulb is drawn, then the total number of bulbs left equals to 19 bulbs. Therefore, this will be our total possible outcome. In this case, this 19 bulbs will be our total possible outcome. So therefore, total possible outcome equals to 19. Total possible outcome is equals to 19, and number of non-defective bulbs. Therefore, the total number of non-defective bulbs is equals to 19 minus 4. 4 bulbs are defective, so if I simply remove this 4 bulbs, then the remaining bulbs will be the good one. So that means 15. So there are 15 non-defective bulbs, that means 15 good bulbs are there. Therefore, probability of getting a non-defective bulb is equals to 15 by 19. This is our favorable outcome. This is the total possible outcome. So 15 by 19. If you want, you can write here one line. Therefore, the total number of favorable outcome is equals to 15, and then probability of getting a non-defective bulb is equals to 15 by 19. Favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome, 15 by 19. Okay, now question number 18. A box containing 90 discs which are numbered from 1 to 90. So in each disc 1 to 90 numbers, from 1 to like this, there are 90 discs, and in each disc one number is there starting from 1 up to 90. If one disc is drawn at random from the box, what is the probability that it bears a 2-digit number, a perfect square number, and a number divisible by 5? So out from 1 to 90, how many 2-digit numbers are there, we'll find. Then it will be the numbers of 2-digit number will be our favorable outcome. Total possible outcome in this case will be 90 in each and every case. Total 2-digit number I will find how many. Simply if I remove from 1 to 9, if I remove, then remaining 81. Yes, 81 numbers are 2-digit numbers. Then a perfect square number, we'll find all the perfect square number. Then we'll find the number of perfect square number will be our total favorable outcome. We'll find that one, and then we'll solve this. Then again for number 3 also, we'll find all the divisible of 5, 10, 15, 20, like this up to 90 will go, and then how many numbers are there, we'll count, and this will be our total favorable outcome, and then simply we'll divide this number by 90. Question number 18, you see. So total number of discs, how many? 90. Total number of discs equals to 90. Total number of discs, it is given 90. So now one by one, Roman number 1, you see a 2-digit number. So first of all, we will find how many 2-digit numbers are there. Total number of 2-digit numbers. Total number of 2-digit numbers. Directly we can find this one. No need to write. Total number of 2-digit numbers between 1 and 90 is equals to, simply from 1 to 9 only 1-digit number, and rest starting from 10 up to 90 all are this 2-digit number. So simply from 90 I will minus 9, which will be equals to 81. So there are 81 2-digit numbers, 81 2-digit numbers. So this is our favorable outcome. This one is our favorable outcome. This is the total possible outcome. Now we can find the probability of getting a 2-digit number. Probability of getting a 2-digit number will be equals to, this is our favorable outcome, 81 divided by 90, total possible outcome. This is our favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome is equals to 81 by 90. So if I cancel this with 9, 9 9s are 81, 9 10s are 90. So probability is 9 by 10, 9 by 10. This is our favorable outcome. You can write here one line. Total number of possible outcome is equals to 90, and here one line more you can write. Therefore, total number of favorable outcome is equals to 81. So, probability of getting a 2-digit number is equals to total number of favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. That means 81 divided by 90. So, 9 by 10 is the required probability. So, now you see Roman number 2. Question is to find a perfect square number. That means the probability of getting a perfect square number. So, first of all, we will find all the perfect square number between 1 and 90. Roman number 2, you see. So, first of all, I will find all the perfect square number between 1 to 90. Perfect square number between 1 and 90 are. Perfect square number between 1 and 90 are. First one will be 1 square. 1 is the square of itself. So, 1, then 2 square it is 4, 3 square 9, then 4 square 16, then 16 square, 5 square it is 25, then 6 square 36, then 49, then 8 square it is 64, then 9 square it is 81, and then 10 tens are it is 100, so it will be more than 10 square it is 100. So, it will be 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, 7 square, 8 square, 9 square. 10 square it is 100. It is a 3-digit number and it is not between 1 to 90 also. The question is to find the perfect square between 1 to 90, and then you have to find how many numbers are there you count. So, this will be our favorable outcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, total favorable outcome will be equals to 9. So, therefore, total number of perfect square number between 1 and 90 is equals to 9. Total number of perfect square number between 1 and 90. Total number of perfect square number you write in full. Don't write like this and how I have written. Total number of perfect square full you write. Perfect square number between 1 and 90 is equals to 9. So, therefore, probability of getting a perfect square. Probability of getting a perfect square number this is our favorable outcome 9 divided by the total possible outcome 90. So, 9 ones are 9 tens are. So, answer is 1 by 10. This is our favorable outcome. This is the total possible outcome. So, favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. So, 1 by 10 is the required probability. So, now next one is to find a number divisible by 5. So, in between 1 and 90, those numbers which are divisible by 5, I will find first of all. So, number between 1 and 90, numbers and divisible by 5 are numbers between 1 and 90 and divisible by 5 are. So, if I start from 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, then 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 85, 90. So numbers between 1 and 90 and divisible by 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90. So these are the numbers which are divisible by 90. So I'll count how many numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 numbers are there which are divisible by 5. So our total possible favorable outcome will be 18. Total number divisible by 5 is equals to 18. Total numbers divisible by 5 is equals to 18. So this is our favorable outcome in this case. This one is the total possible outcome. So we know the probability of getting a number divisible by 5 is equals to favorable outcome, total number of favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome, 18 by 90, 18 by 90. So 18 ones are 18 fives are 90. So 1 by 5 is the required probability. 1 by 5 is the required probability. Probability of getting a number divisible by 5 is equals to 18 by 90, which is equals to how I have got 18. Simply, first of all, I have taken find out all the numbers which are divisible by 5, then I counted how many numbers are there. You start from here up to here, you count, you will get 18 numbers. So this is our favorable outcome, total number divisible by 18, or you can write favorable outcomes, total number of favorable outcome is equals to 18, and then you can write therefore probability of getting a number divisible by 5 is equals to 18 by 90. If you cancel it, 18 ones are 18, 18 fives are 90. So answer is 1 by 5. So now question number 19, you see, turn the page 310. A child has a die whose 6 faces show the letters as given below. So there are letters in the 6 phases of a die. So you see there are 6 phases in a die, A, B, C, D, E, and again A given. So in the 6 phases 6 letters are there, sorry 5 letters are there, A is 2 times. So the question is to find a die is true once, what is the probability of getting A and D? So question is to find the probability of getting A and D. So total number of possible outcome in this case, there are 6 phases, so possible outcome will be 6. Question number 19. So total number of possible outcome is equals to 6 in this case. Total number of possible outcome is equals to 6. Total number of possible outcomes is equals to 6. Okay. So first one is to find the probability of getting letter A. So how many times A is there? You see there are 2 A, first and the last phase it is given, another A is, so that means 2. So total number of faces having A on it, total number of faces having A on it equals to 2. There are 2 phases on which letter A is written. So total number of phases having A on it is equals to 2. So probability of getting A will be, this is our favorable outcome, this is the total possible outcome. So probability of getting A is equals to favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome, that means 2 by 6, 2 1s are 2 3s are. So the required probability is 1 by 3. The required probability is 1 by 3. The next one, letter D. So for Roman number 2, total number of faces having letter D on it, D is only one time. So probability of getting D will be equals to favorable outcome, that is 1 divided by the total possible outcome, which is equals to 6. So 1 by 6, it is the required probability. It is the required probability. Then question number 20, you see star mark is there. That means not for the examination point of view. It is written on the last part. On the last page you see is on the last part at the bottom of the book it is written that it is not for the examination point of view. It is just simply given for the practice purpose. So you see, suppose you drop a die at random on a rectangular region shown in figure 15.6. So what is the probability that it will land inside the circle with diameter 1 meter? So the diameter of the circle is given. So question is like this, that if I throw a die, what is the probability that the circle will, the die will fall inside this region? If I throw a die at a random in this side, it may come here, it may fall here, the die may fall here, or it may fall anywhere in this rectangular region. So question is to find what is the probability that the die will fall in this region. So first of all, for doing this, first of all I will find the area of this rectangle. Area of this rectangle will be this length into breadth. This area of the rectangle will be equal to the total possible outcome, and this region will be our favorable outcome, because question is that what is the probability that the die will fall in this circular region. The diameter of this circle is given 1 meter. So first of all I will find the area of this whole rectangle. It will be our total possible outcome, and then I will find this area of this circle. So if I find the area of the circle, this area of the circle will be our total possible outcome. Then only we can find what are the chances that the die will fall in this circular region. Area of the rectangle equals to length into breadth. We know the area of a rectangle is equals to length into breadth. You see here the length is given 3 meter and breadth given 2 meter. So 3 into 2 unit will be area, so it is meter square. So 3 2s are 6 meter square. So this is the area of the rectangle, and what I have said that I will take this one as the total possible outcome. So in this case the total possible outcome will be equals to 6 meter square. Therefore the total possible outcome will be equals to 6 unit, I think. Okay, you give. And now I will find the area of the circle of diameter 1 meter. So you write area of the circle in bracket, you write with diameter 1 meter. So area we know formula pi r squared. So pi and diameter it is 1, that means radius will be 1 by 2. So pi r square. So r it is here, it is the diameter is 1 given, so r will be equals to 1 by 2 square. 1 by 2 square unit will be there, will be meter. So pi by 4, 2 square it is 4 unit meter square. So this is the area of the circle. This is the area of the circle. So this one will be our favorable outcome, total favorable outcome. Therefore total favorable outcome is equals to pi by 4 meter square. Total favorable outcome is equals to pi by 4 meter square. Okay, one thing you do, no need to write the unit in there, you just take. So total possible outcome is equals to 6, and there the favorable outcome will be equals to pi by 4. So now we know how to find the probability. It will be this one, this favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. Probability the die will land inside the circle will be equals to total number of favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. Total number of favorable outcome divided by the total number of possible outcome. So total possible outcome it is 6, and favorable outcome just now we have got it is pi by 4 divided by 6. So it will be equals to pi by 4 into 6, that means pi by 24. So this is the required probability, pi by 24. So now you see question number 21. A lot consists of 144 ball pens, of which 20 are defective and the others are good. So a lot of 144 ball pens are there, out of which 20 are defective and the others are good. So Nuri will buy a pen if it is good, but will not buy if it is defective. So the question is that the shopkeeper draws one pen at a random and give it to her. What is the probability that she will buy it? So when she will buy, if the pen is good one, so we'll find the probability for the good pens, that means which will be equals to that the probability she will buy it. And if the pen is defective, she will not buy, that means we'll find the probability of the defective pens, that will be equal to our this probability that she will not buy it. Question number 21. Total number of pens 144 pens are there, out of which 20 are defective. So total number of defective pens is equals to 20 pens are defective. That means total number of good pens will be equals to total number of good pens is equals to total minus defective. Total minus defective, that means 124. So 124 pens are good, out of this 124, out of this 44, 124 pens are good and 20 are defective. So now we'll find one by one. You see, the first one is to find that what is the probability that she will buy it. So she will buy only when the pen is a good one. So total number of events, you write total number of events in which she will buy them is equals to total number of events in which she will buy them is equals to 124. That means there are 124 good pens, so the favorable outcome will be 124. In this case only, that out of this 124, if any pens the shopkeeper pick, then if she found that it is a good one, then only she will buy. If the picked pen is this defective one, then so she will not buy. So total number of events in which she will buy them is equals to 124. That means only in case if the pen is a good one, then only she will buy it. So I have written the total number of events in which she will buy them is equals to 124. So probability of buying will be equals to favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. Favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. 4 3s are 12, 4 1s are 4, 4 3s are 12, and 4 6s are 24. Yes, so 31 by 36. This is the required probability. So now the next one is to find that she will not buy. So directly also you can find. We know probability of E plus of an event E plus probability of not E is equals to 1. So directly we can find probability of not buying will be equals to 1 minus 31 by 36. Or normally also we can find. So I am doing normally. If you want, you can write directly that the probability of not buying will be equals to probability of this 1 minus probability of buying. 1 minus 31 by 36. Directly we will get the answer. Or if anyone wants to do normally, then also she can, you can do. I am doing this one. So you write total number of events in which she will not buy is equals to, in case of this 20 defective pens only, they will not buy it. So total number of events in which she will not buy is equals to 20. Therefore probability of not buying equals to 20 by 144. 20 by 144. So 4 5s are 4, 36 are. So 5 by 36. And if I directly find also probability of not buying, you can find it like this also for Roman number 2. Probability of not buying will be equals to 1 minus probability of buying. If you want, you can do it like this also. So 1 minus probability of buying, it was 35, what was it? Yes, 31 by 36. 31 by 36. So it will be 36 minus 31 by 36. That means 5 by 36. So if anyone wants, so he or she can do it like this also. Probability of not buying equals to 1 minus probability of buying. That is probability of buying, just now we have found earlier in Roman number 1, which was equals to 31 by 36. That means which if I take the LCM, it will be 36. So 36 minus 35, that means 5 by 36. Or you can do it directly like this. The total number of events in which you will not buy is equals to 20. So therefore probability of not buying is equals to 20 by 144. So if I cancel it, I will get 5 by 36. So anyway, either this one or this one you can do. I have done in both ways so that if anyone feels comfortable in this way, then he or she can do, or either that one earlier which I have done in that corner, that one also you can follow. It's up to you. Okay, now question number 22 you see. Refer to examples 13, complete the table. So example number 13 you see, page number 306. So 2 dice, 1 blue and 1 grey are thrown at the same time. Write down all the possible outcomes. What is the probability that the sum of the two numbers appearing on the top of the dice? Okay, so I understood what to do. Simply, if 2 dice are thrown, so I will randomly write all the numbers. What are the total possible outcome? So I will show how to directly also you can find 6 into 6, it will be 36, but the rest part you cannot do if you first of all you don't find all the numbers. So you write, if 2 dice are thrown, comma, possible outcomes or the possible events are if two dice are thrown, the possible events are, I will write all the events. So in first die you see one may come, in second die also one may come. Again let me keep this one. In first die one may come, in second die two may come. Then again in first die one may come, second die three may come. Like this I will find 1 4, 1 5, 1 6. In a die there are 6 phases, that means up to 6 I will go. Then again for 2 I will find like this. In one phase I will keep 2 constant, another phase 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4, 2 5. You see it very carefully. Such type of maths come in exam. 2 6. Then again I will keep 3 constant, 3 1, 3 2, 3 3, 3 4, 3 5, 3 6. Then again 4, I will keep 4 constant, 4 1, 4 2, 4 3, 4 4, 4 5, 4 6. Then now I will keep 5 constant, 5 1, 5 2. There are 2 dice, so in one die 5 will come, another die 1. Then again 5 2. I am writing all the possible outcomes that it may come. 5 2, 5 3, 5 4, 5 5, 5 6. The next one 6 1, 6 2, 6 3, 6 4, 6 5, 6 6. 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6. Then 2 1, 2 2, 2 3. I have kept 2 in one dice constant, and other die I have changed 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then again 3 1 2 3 4 5 6, 4. Then 4 constant, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Then 1 2 3 4 5 6. It is 1 2 3 4. Yes. So these are all possible outcomes. So if you count, you will get 36. 6 into 6. In 6 into 6 it is 36. Directly you can calculate, or if you count also you will get 36. You see 1 2 3 4 5 6 row into 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 into 6 it is 36. So total possible outcomes will be 36 in each and every case. Okay, one thing I am writing this one, I will write here because I need to make the table also. Let me write first of all here. So the total number of events, the total number of events, so the total number of events is equals to 6 into 6, which is equals to 36. So this is our total possible outcome, total possible outcome. So now table is given, so if anyone wants, he or she can find one by one event of getting sum of dice 2. You can see when the dice, the sum will be 2, only in this case 1 plus 1, only it will be 2. That means only one case is there. Out of this 36, only one time, if I add these 2 dice, I will get 2. If anyone wants to find like this, then you can, he or she may find it like this. To get the sum 2, possible outcomes is equals to possible outcome is equals to this one, only one time. That means 1 comma 1. Or directly I will fill the table. First of all, I will make the table. You see, you see it very carefully. Since I am not doing it this other method, I am doing it directly, so you be careful or else you will not understand. So it is the event in which written sum of 2 dice. And here it is given probability. in each and every case I will find directly, so be careful, or else you can find by writing like this: to get the sum, two possible events are 1, 1. That means favorable outcome will be equal to only one time. If I say to get the sum 3, only 2 plus 1 3 and 1 plus 2 3, and if you add any other number you will not get 3. So to get the sum to, only the possible outcomes are, the possible events are 2, 1 and 1, 2. That means therefore the favorable outcome in this case will be 2. So one by one you can find, and then you can fill the table, or if you want you can do it like this directly. So 2, but before that you have to write this one: 2, then 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, up to 12, sum up to 12. So you see, to get the sum 2, how many events are these? Possible events are there only one time. 1 plus 1, 2. So out of 36 only one time. So this is the favorable outcome, this is the total possible outcome. Directly I have written 36. 36 is the total possible outcome, and favorable outcome it is 1 here. Then again for 2 you see, to get the sum 3, what are the possible possible events? That means 2 plus 1 I will get 3, 1 plus 2 also I will get 3, and if you add 3 plus 1 you are getting 4, 2 plus 2, then if you add any other number you will not get sum equals to 3. So there are only 2 possible events. That means favorable outcome will be 2 out of 36. 36 is the total possible outcome. This is the only one, they are 1, they are 1. Only 2 events I am getting. So favorable outcome it is 2 divided by 36. So now I will get go for this next one, event of sum 4. So when you will get the sum 4, you see 3 plus 1 4, 2 plus 2 4, 3 plus 1 4, and rest other you will not get. 4 plus 1 5, 3 plus 2 5. Here all the sums are 5. Okay. So how many events you are getting? 1, 2, 3. That means your favorable outcome will be 3. So favorable outcome it is 3. Total possible outcome we know it is 36. So each and every case it will be 36. The next one we got for 4. So now we will find for 5. 4 plus 1 5. Then 3 plus 2 5. Then 2 plus 3 5. Then 1 plus 4 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are getting 4 events. So the favorable outcome will be 4 divided by the total possible outcome. It is the probability. We are finding the probability. This is our favorable outcome. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 events. So favorable outcome is 4 divided by the total possible outcome. It is 36. Okay, now you see next one. We'll find for 6. So 5 plus 1 it is 6. 4, 5, 6. Then 3 plus 3 it is 6. 4 plus 2 it is 6. 5 plus 1 it is 6. So how many events you are getting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total favorable outcome it is 5. Total possible outcome it is 36. So 5 by 36. The next one for 7. So now we'll count for 7. 6 plus 1 7. 5 6 7. 4 5 6 7. 4 5 6 7. 5 6 7. 6 plus 1 7. So how many events you are getting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So favorable outcome it is 6 divided by total possible outcome 36. So 6 by 36. The next one you see, sum 8. Sum 8. So 6, 7, 8. Then 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 4 plus 4, 8. then 5, 6, 7, 8, then 6, 7, 8. In one row you will get only one. Okay, so you have to find only one. In this row maximum it is 6 plus 1, 7. So no need to, you leave this row and you start finding from here. So 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 plus 4, 8, 3 plus 5, 8, 6 plus 2, 8. So how many events? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So favorable outcome will be 5 divided by the total possible outcome, that is 36. So now for next one we will start finding. Okay, so now for Psalm 9. So 6 plus 3 9. In this row maximum it is 6, 7, 8. So you leave this one, you start from here. 6, 7, 8, 9, then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 plus 4, 9. 4 plus 5, 9. 6 plus 3, 9. So how many events you are getting? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 events. That means probability will be 4 by 36. So now we'll start for 10. So in this row maximum it is 6, 7, 8, 9. So here you will get 10. 6 plus 4, 10. 5 plus 5, 10. 4 plus 6, 10. So 3. Event it is 3 by 36. So now 11. For this row maximum it is 10. 6 plus 4. So now I will move to this one. So 6, 5 and 5, 6. 6 plus 5 and 5 plus 6 it is 11. So 2 by 36. Then you see for 12 only 1. 6, 6. So 1 by 36. So after writing this table, you see, you can observe there is a pattern. For 2 it is, you see, it is up to 6 it will go on increasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to 7 it increase, then again it drops. So second is the midpoint. Then again it drop 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can remember it like this also, but before that you have to find all these possible outcomes. Then only you can do it like this. Or else you have to do one by one. You have to find the probability for one by one. Then later on, after finding all the probabilities, then you have to fill this table. Okay, now question number 2, you see, 22, Roman number 2. A student argues that there are 11 possible outcomes. No, there are how many outcomes? You see, 36. So we can say that this one is incorrect. And therefore each of them I have the probability 1 by 11. And they are equally likely. So no, the probability is not 1 by 11 in each and every case. You see, 1 by 36. All are varying from different from one another. So these are not equally likely also. So I'll write 22. This one, Roman number 1. I have filled the table. So now I'll do Roman number 2. Now Roman number 2. So directly we can write the argument is not correct. The argument is not correct as each of these sums some don't have each of these sum here given probability equals to 1 by 11 don't have a probability 1 by 11. Each of these sums don't have a probability 1 by 11 and they are not equally likely and are not equally likely. Okay, now question number 23, you see, a game consists of tossing a 1 rupee coin 3 times. So in a game a coin is tossed 3 times and nothing its outcome each time, noting its outcome each time. Hanif wins if all the tosses gives the same result, that is 3 heads and 3 tails, and loses otherwise. So the Hanif will win if and only if he got the same. That means in the 3 toss if he get 3 head, and or in the 3 toss if he get 3 tails. That means all the this events should be same, whether 3 head or 3 tail. And if he got in two coin head and another coin tail, then he will lose in any other way. But it should not come. This all should be the like same. So calculate the probability that Hanif will lose the game. So first of all, we have to find all the total possible outcome. That when we will toss a die 3 times, what are the total possible outcomes? Question number 23. Total possible outcomes are in 3 toss you may get head 3 times, then 3 times tails also you may get, then 2 time head 1 time tail, then head tail head, or you may get tail head head, or you may get 2 tail 1 head, 1 head 2 times tail, or 2 times tail 1 time head. And okay, finished. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yes. 3 3s are 6 7 8. Yes. So there are 8 outcomes. So these are the total possible outcomes. So these are the total possible outcomes. So total number of outcomes, how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So you write therefore, or you can write total number of possible outcomes is equals to 8. Total number of possible outcomes is equals to 8. Total number of possible outcome is equals to 8, and only when he will win is, but the chances only this if there are 3 heads or 3 tails, Hanif will win, and in rest other cases he will lose. So question is to find the probability that he will lose the game. So total number of outcomes sorry, not number. First of all, let me write how many chances are there. Total outcomes in which Hanif will LOS. Total outcomes in which Hanif will lose the game is equals to total outcomes in which Hanif will lose the game equals to 6. You write that is this, if he got 2 head 1 tail he will lose. If he get 1 head and 2 time tail also he will lose. Then THH, then TTH, then HTT, and then THT. So in these cases he will lose. So how many cases? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 6 cases. So total outcomes in which Hanif will lose the game is equals to 6. is equals to 6. So probability of losing we can find. This is the favorable outcome. This is the total possible outcome. So you can write, therefore probability of losing the game is equals to favorable outcome divided by total possible outcome. 2 3s are 2 4s are, so probability is 3 by 4. Probability is 3 by 4. Okay, now question number 24. A die is thrown twice. What is the probability that 5 will come up either time? 5 will not come at least once. So a die is thrown 2 times. So question is to find the probability that this 5 will come both the time and 5 will not come at least once also. Sorry, 5 will not come either time. That means 5 will not come in any condition. This 5 will not come to this in the both the die, and 5 will come up at least once. Once it will come, at least once. In one die it may be there, or in both the die also. So earlier I have shown you how to find these outcomes. So now in this case we will do it directly. Question number 24. So total number of outcomes will be since it is a die, it has 6 faces, so 6 into 6, 2 dice, so it is 36. So total number of outcome is equals to 36. So now we will find one by one. Question is to find for that 5 will not come up either time. So total number of outcomes when 5 comes up on either Okay, so first of all we will find out of this 36, first of all we will find 5 in how many phases 5 will come. This is very easy. So okay, I will show how to find. Then I can easily find from, first of all I will find that 5 will come on either phase. So and then I can find this 5 will not come on either phase will be equals to probability of 5 will not come on either time equals to 1 minus probability of 5 will come on either side. Will come on either side. 1 minus will come on either side. Okay. So total number of outcomes when 5 comes up on either time total number of outcome when 5 comes up either time are, so what are the cases when 5 will come? I can easily find it. So 1 will be 5 comma 1, then 5 comma 2, then 5 comma 3, 5 comma 4, 5 comma 5, so and 5 comma 6, then again 6 comma 5, then 4 comma 5, then 3 comma 5, then 2 comma 5 and 1 comma 5. So how many? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So these are the total number of favorable outcomes. So hence total number of favorable outcome is equals to 11. Total number of favorable outcome is equals to 11. So in 11 cases it will not be this phase will not come on either, they will come upon either time. on both the in any one of the die one phase will be with 5. So question is that it should not come. So directly also you can find, if I simply subtract from 36 11, then also I can find, or I can do it in either way. Then first of all let me find the probability that 5 will come up on either time, then directly by subtracting from 1 I can find it that will not come on either phase. So therefore probability probability 5 will come up either time. 5 will come up either time will be equals to favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. So now I can easily find that probability of 5 will not come up on either side, not come up. Probability 5 will not come up either time. Directly I can find 1 minus this one, 1 minus this one. Probability that 5 will come up either time, 1 minus 11 by 36, you write it here, 1 minus probability of 5 will come up either time. There is no space, so I am writing directly. So it will be 36 minus 11, which will be equals to 25 by 36. And if we find directly also, you will get 25 by 36. Simply after writing this much, that don't write it here favorable outcome, directly you write the total number of outcomes is equals to 11. So this the favorable outcome will be equals to 36 minus 11, which will be equals to 25. Then directly you can find it. But here I have done a different way. First of all, I have find that because it is easy to find in how many cases 5 will come up. Then easily if I find the reverse one, we know the formula, probability of E plus probability of not E is always equals to 1. So I have used that formula. 5 will come up and 5 will not come up equals to 1 minus probability of 5 will come up, which is equals to 1 by 36. So 36 minus 11, that is 25 by 36. So now Roman number 2, 5 will come up at least once. So here so we have find this one same, this value it is same. 5 will come up either time. So directly you can write here. Okay, let me write it. Total number of cases when 5 will come up, 5 total number of cases when 5 can come at least once. Just now earlier I have shown that I have got this 11 outcomes. How I have got this one, that in each and every phase one time 5 was there. So same question, total number of cases when 5 can come at least once. So it will be same, since I have shown it earlier, so no need to write it again. Okay, so therefore probability of 5 will come at least once is equals to 11 by 36. 11 by 36. So this is the required answer. Okay, now question number 25, you see, which of the following arguments are correct and which are not correct? Give reason for your answer. So there are two arguments given, and question is to if the argument is not correct, then also you have to give the reason, and if it is correct also, then you have to give the reason. So question number 25, Roman number 1. So you see, if one coin are tossed simultaneously, if two coins are tossed simultaneously, there are three possible outcomes: two heads, two tails, or one of each. Therefore, for each of these outcomes, the probability is 1 by 3. It is actually wrong. So, how it is wrong? First of all, I will show you what are the outcomes when I toss two die. Sorry, two coins. When two coins are tossed, the possible outcomes are I may get both head, I may get both tail, I may get one head on the first coin and the second coin tail. Then again on the first coin I may get one tail, and on the second coin I may get head. So these are the total possible outcomes: head, head, tail, tail, then head, tail. Okay, one thing you do, you give it in bracket. So these are the possible outcomes. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, but here written 3. So it is wrong, and it is probability given 1 by 3. So which one is also wrong? I will show. So probability of 1 by 1. Let me find probability of getting 2 heads is equals to how many time? Only one time. So 1 by 4. Then probability of getting 2 tails, it is also how many times 2 tails are there? Only one time. So it will be 1 by 4. Then probability of getting one of the each, that means any one. In one time one head, that means one head and one tail, or one tail and one head should be there. So what are the cases? You see how many events I am getting? 2 events. So in this case probability will be 2 by 4, which is equals to 1 by 2. So these are not same. Here given that in each and every case I will get 1 by 3. So by showing this thing I can say that the argument or the statement is incorrect. Therefore the statement is incorrect. So I have shown it, and this is not matching with what is given, so the statement is incorrect. The next one, Roman number 2. Roman number 2. When a die, so given if a die is thrown, there are 2 possible outcomes: an odd number or an even number. So therefore the probability of getting an odd number is half. So first of all I will check whether it is correct or not. So when a die is thrown, the possible outcomes are one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So either I will get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So these are the possible outcomes. So question is given that an odd number or an even number, the 2 possible outcomes, either I will get odd number or even number. Yes, there are odd number: 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even, 5 is odd, 6 is even. So either an odd number or an even number. So given that the probability of getting an odd number is 1 by 2. So how many odd numbers are there? The odd numbers are 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. So what are the how many odd numbers are there? 3. So total favorable outcome, therefore total favorable outcome is equals to 3. So probability of getting an odd number probability of getting an odd number is equals to 3 by 6, 3 by 6, which is equals to 1 by 2. And in book also it is given 1 by 2. That means the statement is correct. Therefore the statement is correct. There are other ways of showing this one, that how the statement got correct theoretically, but it is the, I think, easiest way to show. Directly you find what is there, and whether if it is matching, then you can say directly that yes, the statement is correct. So before going to exercise 15.2, let me just discuss the examples that are left on my last class. So example number 10, you see page number 304. So in a musical chair game, the person playing the music, here also star mark is given. That means not for the examination point of view. This question is not for examination point, just for your understanding. So in a musical chair game, the person playing the music has been advised to stop playing the music at any time within 2 minutes after she starts playing. So what is the probability that the music will stop within the first half minutes after starting? So given like this, that the playing the music has been advised to stop music at a chair. So in the first 2 minutes it was given that musical chair, so you have seen how it is played, and music is played, and the girls are rotating around this after keeping some chairs, they are moving like this in a circular way. So it is given that after 2 minutes, or within this, between 2 minutes, the music should be stopped. So question is, what is the probability that the music will be stopped? Music will be stopped in the first half minutes. In the first half minutes, just after starting on the first half minute, that means 30 seconds. Within 30 seconds, the music will be stopped. So here, see, your number line is given. So there are possible outcomes are all the numbers between 0 to 2, and this is the portion of the number line from 0 to 2. So 0 to 2, if I draw a number line starting from 0 to 2, then in middle I'll get half, then 1 half, like this, then 2 will come. So interval is given like this. So this half I will take as so here given. So you see in the question it is written nicely here, 305. Let E be the event, the music is stopped within the first half minutes. So if I take E as the event of stopping the music on the first half minute, or within the first half minute, the outcome favorable to E are the points on the number line from 0 to half. So the distance from 0 to 2 is 2. So if I want to find the distance from 0 to 2, it is 2. That means 0 to half, it will be half. So half is our favorable outcome, and this is the total possible outcome. So 2 by this 1 by half into 2, that means 1 by half, it is our favorable outcome, and divided by the total possible outcome, which is 2, that means answer will be 1 by 4. 1 by 4. Then you see question number 11. So same like question number which one I did? Yes, question number 20. It is which I have done in the exercise. So a missing helicopter is reported to have crashed somewhere in a rectangular region shown in the figure 15.2. So what is the probability that it crashed inside the shown figure? So what in this case also, first of all we will find the area of this whole rectangle, then I will find this rectangular lake, the area of this lake, and then this area will be my favorable outcome, and this whole area will be the total possible outcome. So the area of this rectangular region will be the favorable total possible outcome, and this small lake, this area of this lake, it is given. You see length, breadth, it is given here. So if I calculate it, then this will be the area of the lake. Area of the lake will be the favorable outcome, and this area of this whole rectangular field, it will be this rectangular area will be the total possible outcome. Then simply I will divide how I have did it in question number 20 in the same way. I'll write this one as the possible outcome, this one favorable outcome, then I'll divide favorable outcome by the this possible outcome. Then you see question number 12, it is important. A carton consists of 10 shirts, of which 88 are good, 8 have minor defects, 4 have major defects. Jimmy, a trader, will only accept the shirt when they are good. So if the shirts are good, then Jimmy will accept the shirts. But Sujata, another trader, will only reject the shirts which have the major defects, and another trader is there, she will accept the shirt with minor defects, but she will not accept if it has the major defect, the shirt has the major defect. So one shirt is drawn at a random from the carton. What is the probability that it will be accepted by Jimmy? So you see it is done very nicely in the book. So one shirt is drawn at random from the carton of 100 shirts. Therefore there are 100 equally likely outcomes. That means the total possible outcome in this case is 100. Then favorable outcome for Jimmy, the number of outcomes favorable that is acceptable to Jimmy. Jimmy accepts only the shirts which are good. How many good shirts are there? 88. That means for Jimmy the favorable outcome will be 88. So therefore probability shirt is acceptable to Jimmy is 88 by 100. That means 0.88, or you can cancel it by 2, 3, which number it is go, and you can keep it in fraction also if you want, or if you find it in decimal, no problem. The next one, the number of outcomes favorable to Sujata. So Sujata is another trader, she will accept the shirts which are good and which have minor defect also, but she will not accept if it has major defect. So 88 plus 8 is for with the shirts which have the minor defects. So 88 plus 8, which is equals to 96. So probability the shirt is acceptable to Sujata is 96 by 100. That means 0.96. Then question number 11, or this one, question number 12. You see it very nice. It is an important question. Question number 13 also same. One sum so I have done in the same way, which is question number 22. So first part, so you know how I have calculated this. I have made the table, this all the possible outcomes. So here also all the possible outcomes are given, and question is that the sum should be 8. So in how many cases the sum should be 8? In the table I have shown, you have also found it, it is 5. That means 5 by 36 will be the result. Then 13, in no case the maximum, it is the maximum, it was 6,6. that means the sum is equals to 12. So there is no number, there is no this event with sum 13, so it is 0, impossible. This it is an impossible event, so it will be 0 by 36, which is equals to 0. And the last one is, you see, less than or equal to 12, less than or equal to 12. So all the sums that are less than 12, then you will not find any sum which is more than 12. So 36 out of 36, it is a sure event or a certain event. So 36 by 36, that is equals to 1. This one is also important question, so you try it nicely. So now exercise 15.2, it is an optional exercise, it will not come, it is not for the exam point of view. Then also I am doing exercise 15.2, it is our optional chapter exercise. That means it is not for the exam point of view. Okay, then also I am doing some important sums from this exercise. So first one, you see, two customers, Shyam and Ekta, are visiting a particular shop in the same week, Tuesday to Saturday, within this bit, from not Monday, no Sunday, from Tuesday to Saturday. So each is equally likely to visit the shop on any day as on another day. So what is the probability that both will visit the shop on the same day and on consecutive days or in different days? Because so first of all we have to find, so there are how many total number of days, leaving 2 days, it is 5. Total number of days equals to 5. Total number of days is equals to 5. So total possible outcome will be Swayam can go, this first person can go in 5 ways, and the second person also can go in 5 ways. That means 5 5s are 25. So total possible outcome will be 25. So you write, what is it? Name Shyam. Shyam can go to the shop in 5 ways, and Ekta can go to the shop, and Ekta can go to the she can go in 5 ways, go to the shop in 5 ways, and same way Shyam can also do. So total possible outcome will be, or therefore total number of outcome is equals to 5 into 5, that is 25. So I have got the total number or the total possible outcome. So now I will solve one by one. So Roman number 1, it is given that they will visit the shop on the same day. They can reach the shop in 5 ways. They can reach the shop in shop on the same day. Okay, they can reach the shop on the same day in 5 ways. 5 ways. So I will write in how many ways. You see, on both of them can go in Tuesday. I am writing in small letter TT. That means on the same day they can go, or they can go on Wednesday. Both of them can go on Wednesday, or they can go on Thursday. TH I am writing as Thursday. Then they can go on Friday, FF. Then they can go on Saturday also, SS. So how many ways? You see, 1 2 3 4 5 ways. That means this will be the favorable outcome. So therefore probability that both will reach on same day favorable outcome, it is 5. Total possible outcome, it is 25. That means 1 by 5 is the probability. 1 by 5 is the probability. Then for next one, that they will the consecutive days. Roman number 2, you see, so they can reach on consecutive day in 8 ways. You write, they can reach on consecutive days in 8 ways. They can reach the consecutive days on 8 ways. So one may go on Tuesday, another may go on Wednesday. Then again one may go on Wednesday, another may go on Thursday. Then again one may go on Thursday, another may on Wednesday, Friday. Then one may go on Friday, another on Saturday. Then again one may go on Saturday, another may go on Tuesday. Then Saturday and Tuesday to not consecutive, sorry. Then again one may go on Wednesday, another may go on Tuesday, another may go on Thursday. Just you reverse this thing. Another go on Thursday, one on Friday, then again one on Saturday, another one on Friday. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 7, 8, in 8 ways they can reach. So probability will be both will reach on consecutive day. Both will reach on consecutive day in favorable outcome. It is 8 divided by total possible outcome. Favorable outcome, it is 8 divided by total possible outcome. So now Roman number 3, it is that they will in different days. So both will reach. Okay, one thing. So this one, Roman number 3, we can find directly. I will show how. Let me drop this one. Roman number 3. On the first one, you see, on first Roman number, I have found that probability on the same day. Now it is on different day. That means probability of E minus naught E equals E plus naught E will be equals to 1. I can use that formula. So probability that both will reach on same day equals to same day was equals to 1 by 5. The first one I have found, you see, when you earlier I have done that both will reach on the same day equals to 1 by 1 from, okay, you can write it here, from Roman 1. From Roman number 1 I have written this one. So now directly I can find that on different day probability they will reach on different days will be probability both will reach on different day is equals to 1 minus 1 by 5. That means 5 minus 1, which is equals to 4 by 5. So it is the required probability. It is the required probability. Question number 2 you leave, no need. Totally. Question number 3 you see, little important it is there, but it's not for the exam point of view, that's why. But then also you do. So a bag contains 5 red balls and some blue balls. If the probability of drawing a blue ball is double that of the red ball, determine the number of blue balls in the bag. So question is to determine the number of blue balls in the bag. Here it simply it is given. Okay, let me write. So question is to find the number of blue balls. So you write, let the total number of blue balls be, let the total number of blue balls equals, bx. Let the total number of blue balls be x. Total number of red balls, it is given 5. So you write, given total number of red balls is equals to 5. That means total number of balls will be blue ball plus red ball. So therefore total number of balls is equals to blue plus red. That means x plus 5. So it will be the total number of balls. So now I can find the probability of getting a red ball. So therefore probability of getting a red ball. So this will be our favorable outcome, and getting a red ball we know the favorable outcome this one, possible outcome this one. So 5 by x plus 5. 5 total number of red ball, it is 5. That means it is the favorable outcome, and total number of balls, which is the possible outcome, total possible outcome. So it is 5 by x plus 5, and probability of getting a blue ball we need, okay, we find it, we need it. So it will be x by x plus 5. So probability of blue balls, we have taken number of blue ball as x. So it will be our favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. So x by x plus 5. But according to question, it is given, you see, that the probability you see in the question that if the probability of drawing a blue ball is double then that of the red ball, determine the, so if I simply double the probability of the blue balls, which will be equals to the, probability of blue ball will be double of that red ball, then question is to find the value. So if the probability of drawing a blue ball is double, okay, so we'll double it. So you write given that, so x by x plus 5 is equals to 5 by x plus 5, 2 times 2 into 5, 2 into 5. It is given like this, that if one ball is drawn at random from, if the probability of drawing a blue ball is double that of the red ball, determine the number of the blue balls in the bag. So if I simply double the probability, then what is the number of balls you have to find? So if I simply solve this one, it will be x by x plus 5 equals to 5 2s are 10, x plus 5. So if you want, you can directly cancel it. They are also x plus 5 in denominator, they are also x plus 5. Or you can write it like this, x equals to 10 into x plus 5 divided by x plus 5. X plus 5 cancel. So x is equals to 10. So you write, therefore the total number of blue balls is equals to, therefore the total number of blue balls is equals to, the last line will be therefore the total number of blue ball is equals to 10. So this is the required answer. Okay, now question number 4. A box containing 12 balls out of which x are black. So there are 12 balls out of which x are black. If one ball is drawn at random from the box, what is the probability that it will be a black ball? So if I simply randomly pick a ball, what is the probability that the ball will be a black one? So first of all, I will do the first part. There are two questions in the same. Total number of balls, it is given 12. There are 12 balls out of which x are black. So total number of black ball, it is given x. Total number of black ball, it is given x. So probability will be probability of getting a black ball. Probability of getting a black ball will be equals to x by 12, favorable outcome divided by the total possible outcome. So this is the answer of first part. Now another given, if 6 more black balls are put in the box. So if I add 6 more black balls, the probability of drawing the black ball is now double. So find what it was before, find x. So question is to find the value of x. So you write, if 6 more black balls are put in the, if 6 more black balls are put in the box, then total number of balls will be equals to, earlier it was 12, now I have added 6, so it will be 18. It will be 18. Earlier there were 12 balls, now I have added 6 more, so it will be 18. And black balls also it will increase. So since I am adding the black balls, so it is obvious that black ball also increase. It was earlier it was 6, now it will be 6 more, that is x plus 6. So write total number of black balls it is, earlier it was x, now I have increased 6, so it is x plus 6, x plus 6, x plus 6. So now I'll find the probability of getting a black ball. Probability of getting a black ball. Now you write. Now the probability of getting a black ball will be equals to total number of black ball, it is x plus 6. So it is our favorable outcome. Possible outcome now it is 18. So it is x plus 6 by 18. X plus 6 by 18. Now you see the question, the condition is given like this, that the probability of drawing a black ball is now double that which was earlier. So double of the earlier it was x by 12. So now this probability is equals to the double of earlier one. So you write, according to question, earlier it was x by 12, so double of that one. 2 into x by 12 is equals to x plus 6 by 18. 2 into x by 12 plus x plus 6 by 18. So this is 2. So I can cancel this one. 2, 6 that 12. So here it will be x by 6 equals to x plus 6 by 18. So you can cancel it. Here 6, there 18. So 6 1 there, 6 3 there. So there are 3 left. X by 1 equals to x plus 6 by 3. So this 3, if I bring it here, it will multiply. So 3x equals to x plus 6. 1 into x plus 6, it is x plus 6. So 3x minus x equals to 6 implies 3x minus x, it is 2x equals to 6 implies x equals to 6 by 2, which is equals to 2. 3s are 6. So the value of x is 3. Value of x is 3. Simply I have calculated this one. The condition is given like this, that the new probability will be the double of the earlier one. So earlier it was x by 12. I have simply given 2 since it is the double. So with 2 I can cancel this one. 2 into x by 12. So 2 6 that 12. X by 6 equals to x plus 6 by 18. So 6 and 18 I can cancel. So 6 1s are 6 3s are 18. There are 3 left. 3 into x 3x. There are 1 left. 1 into x plus 6, it is x plus 6. So now I have transposed this one. X I have transposed to this side. So it will be 3x minus x, which is equals to 6. So 3x minus x is 2x equals to 6. X equals to 6 by 2. 2 3s are 6. So the value of x is 3. The required value of x is 3. Question is to find the value of x. Find x, it is written. So the required value of x is 3. So the last question of this exercise, question number 5. A jar contains 24 marbles. Some are green and others are blue. If the marbles are drawn at a random from the jar, the probability that it is green is given 2 by 3. So find the number of the blue ball in the jar. So question is to find the number of the blue balls. Probability of green ball, it is given 2 by 3. Using that one, I will find it. So total number of marbles, it is given. Total number of marbles given 24. So I don't know how many green marbles are there, so I will take it as x. So you write, let the number of green marbles is equals to x. Sorry, take it as bx. Let the number of green marbles be x. So then the condition is given like this, that the some are green and other are blue. If a marble is drawn at a random from the jar, the probability that it is a green is 2 by 3. So there are 24 marbles. So if I let this green marbles, number of green marbles as x, then the remaining marbles will be blue. That means 24 minus x. So you write, then total number of equals to 24 minus x. Total number of blue marbles is equals to 24 minus x. So now I can find the probability of getting a green marble. So probability of getting a green marble, this number of green marbles is x. That means it is this favorable number, favorable outcome, and this is our possible outcome. So it is 24. So the probability of getting a green marble is x by 24. But now you see in the question it is given that the probability of green marble is 2 by 3. So comparing that one, I can find the value. So you write, according to question, x by 24 is equals to 2 by 3. Implies x is equals to 2 into 24 divided by 3. 3 8s are 24. 8 2s are 16. So value of x is 16. Value of x is equals to 16. This 24 I have transposed it here. So 3 8s are 24. 8 2s are 16. So the value of x is 16. So now the question is not to find the value of x. Question is to find the number of blue balls in the jar. So I will put the value of 16 here, and I will find the number of blue marbles. So therefore total number of green marbles is equals to 16, and total number of blue marbles is equals to 24 minus x. That means 24 minus 16, which is equals to 8. So this is the required answer. So this is the end of this chapter. So if you have any doubt regarding any question from this exercise, you can contact me at night from 8 to 10 p.m. and practice this thing nicely. Thank you.